This was going to be my one and only long, intensive trip of the 2022 season. 7 days solo in Algonquin Park. I sent my dog Elo on vacation to my parents' house. This week was going to be for me and me alone. My route would start from Kiosk and go through White Birch, Mouse, Erables, and Maple before going back to Kiosk. The park looked quiet, the weather looked fantastic, and I was itching to get out and explore the backcountry. I wish I can wake up to this view every day. Day number 6, and it's another beautiful morning on Erables Lake. It's about 7 right now. I got up at 6:30, got out of the tent, checked on the campsite, got my barrel, and then the sun started to rise, so I started taking some pictures and videos and just had a quick bite to eat. Soon I'm gonna pack up the tent and I'll probably be on the water by, I'm gonna go real slow, so probably 8:30 I'll be on the water. Right now I'm just watching the sunrise. When I'm paddling now, it is dead calm on this lake. It is so beautiful. The sun is already strong. It's not even 9 o'clock. I'm doing my short, one and only 170 meter portage from Erables to Maple. Should take 3 minutes, if that, each way, then go back for the rest of my gear. Oh, there's a bridge, it looks like. And then I'm gonna find my campsite on Maple. It's about 9:30. The sun is already very strong. Look both ways. Make sure there's no wildlife or trucks. Yeah, it looks like it's a logging road. And then I just keep going straight. Oh, and here's the campsite. The barrel is already notably lighter after my 2 days on Erables, which is obviously a good thing. And I want to get it even lighter before my big day on Maple Creek tomorrow with 6 portages, so that'll be nice. Anyways, I'm at the end here. I'm going to flip down, go back for the rest of my gear. Okay. And we're off. Holy heck, am I a happy camper right now. I just arrived on Maple Lake. It's 10 a.m. on the button, and the lake is dead calm, just like Erables. It is just so beautiful. The whole shoreline is just reflecting perfectly. I paddled straight to the site that I wanted, the southernmost island site, and it's available. And it's changed a lot since I was here. I think it was 2016 I was here, so 6 years ago. The site is just so gorgeous. I'll do a proper tour later. Just huge rocky elevated shoreline. Like, look at what it looks out to. It's a tiny island, so you can walk around and get views of any direction. So I collected firewood at the end of the last portage. Kind of unnecessary. There is a ridiculous amount of firewood here. This is what I saw first, and I'm like, oh, there's some firewood. That's awesome. That's actually a lot of firewood, and I'm seeing all this and a few pieces in the fire pit. I'm like, this is way more than I need. And then I turned my head and I saw just the inventory. For a soloist, to have one flat seating directly in front of the fire pit, directly in front of this view, which, by the way, this is west, so the sun is going to be setting right there. Like, that is absurd. This campsite is just beyond gorgeous. Inland, you can walk through the trails. You can actually get to the other island if water levels are low enough. I remember correctly from last time. This is probably where I'll pitch my tent. It just looks perfectly flat. I remember last time we pitched our tent somewhere over there. It looks a lot more overgrown now. And I don't remember the fire pit being there. I remember it being somewhere here. I'm gonna have to check back my pictures and see. Because yeah, I don't remember the fire pit being... I remember that being the secondary fire pit. But I'll have to look back. Yeah, I remember we pitched our tent somewhere here. Yeah, it's way more overgrown now over the 6 years. I think back there, yeah, this is where we would have pitched our... Oh yeah, this is a massive spot. And we had like an 8-person tent with us, so we would have pitched our tent right there. So I'm gonna, I guess, unload my gear and get settled in. That's the wood that I brought from the portage. That's the wood that was already here. And this was already here too. I'm in the north end of Maple Lake right now. I left my campsite in the south at 11:30, and I went to the west campsite first, the one by the portage to Rat Trap. Then I went to the island nearby there. Then I turned around the corner and came to the north, looked at the island and the site beside the island. Now I'm heading back to the south half, and I'm going to go to the eastern island and the shore near there and see if those are still empty for me to look at. I'm taking my time. It is crazy hot out. For the first time, it's too hot to even like touch the gunnels of my canoe, just the black aluminum. It's crazy how hot it is. Anyways, all of the sites have been empty so far. The lake is dead quiet, dead empty. Right now I'm alone here. It's pretty much all to report so far. Look at that, guys. A cloud really does exist on this trip. I can probably count on both hands the number of clouds I've seen in the week I've been here. And that's one of them. Isn't this something? It's kind of ridiculous how pretty this is. I'm literally just in the middle of the lake. No one is on this lake but me. I think I need to dip my hat in the water. It is so hot. Day 7 morning update. It is 7 o'clock. I woke up at 4 o'clock and my stomach was just making all sorts of noises. I know what it was saying. It was saying, Cody, why did you eat another dehydrated meal for dinner? I don't like when you do that to me. And I did it 6 days in a row. So I drank some water and tried to find a comfy position, and thankfully was able to fall back asleep till 6:30. 6:30, got up, got out of the tent. I just went to the washroom, checked around camp, took some photos. The morning's pretty, but this campsite faces west, so I can see some of the colors behind me, but I don't have a good vantage point to sit and enjoy and take photos of it. The plan is to stay on Kiosk tonight. I have Kiosk booked for the night. But depending how I feel and depending on just once I get there how the day goes, I might just go to my car because Kiosk is the access point and drive home. I lied. Right as I was going to my tent, I caught a glimpse of the sun out of the corner of my eye. The campsite does face east from one of the cliffs, and the sunrise is pretty amazing. I'm doing the first portage of the day, the 140 from Maple into Maple Creek. The landing sucked, but the portage is easy. Oh yeah, not great. Where do I put the boat down? This is the landing of the 140-meter portage on Maple Creek side. Probably one of the most difficult landings I've ever had the pleasure of dealing with solo. There's just nowhere to load while supporting the boat. Coming up on the 800-meter from Maple Creek to Maple Creek. It's my second longest of the day. At least the landing was good on this end. I just did this climb. That's the steep hill. I did it with no gear and I'm still crazy out of breath. Going up it with canoe, packs, all that stuff, it's brutal. It's probably one of the steepest I've personally seen in the park. Doing the 190 from Maple Creek to Maple Creek. It's my second last portage of the day. After this, I have the longest stretch of the creek, and then the longest portage of the creek, the 900 meter. I just finished my first carry of the 190 meter portage from Maple Creek to Maple Creek. It's my second last portage of the day. The creek itself hasn't been terrible. A couple beaver dams, a lot of places with rocks that you just need to paddle very slowly. Make sure you don't destroy your boat on them. Otherwise, the creek has been pretty good. Very, very pretty. The portages haven't been that bad. The landings that have been absolutely brutal. There is, I think, one flat beach landing. The rest are just a combo of boulders and muck and mud, and it's just, I'm gonna start a petition to rename Maple Creek the Boat Destroyer, because it's just good luck if you're solo. When you have more people, you can teamwork it, and there's a lot that you can do. Passing gear, holding the boat, but solo, when you're trying to get your boat in the water and get your gear inside the boat, it's pretty much inevitable you're going to be beating the crap out of your boat on Maple Creek. So that's the only bad part of the day so far is the landings, and the sun is blistering hot when paddling on the creek. I know that it's a windy day because the forecast told me so, and I can hear it and feel it a little bit on the creek, but you're on the creek. It's blocking most of the wind. I'm guessing the second I hit Kiosk, I'm just going to see waves, which would actually be a nice sight after a very still day on the creek. It'll be nice to have some wind. Anyways, I just finished my walk back to get my gear. So I'm gonna do my second carry and then start the final creek stretch. Last portage of the day, last portage of the trip. Just finished my first carry of the 900 meter. What is iPhone cinematic mode doing weird stuff. Got my canoe. I remember when I did this 6 years ago, that landing was just mud for like 100 meters. You had to just like wade through it. It was ridiculous. Now it's at least looks doable. Yeah, so I'm just gonna walk back, grab the rest of my gear, and then I'm done portaging for the trip. Kiosk. I'm going to look for a nice campsite. If I find something nice, then I'll stay for the night, because I do have a permit for the night. And if I don't find anything appealing, then I'll just go back to my car and do the drive home. Both options sound perfectly fine right now. So I'm thinking I'm gonna pack it in today. I'm on Kiosk. I just checked out 3 campsites. They're all nice sites. I found like I was finding reasons to not want to stay at them. Like, oh, I don't like the tent spot. Oh, there's no firewood and I don't have time to collect. Stuff like that. I think it's just kind of obvious that after a day like today, going from Maple up Maple Creek, doing all the portages, that whole creek solo, it's just a big sense of achievement and accomplishment. And to end it on Kiosk, where there's motorboats, there's cottages, there's launch point, like it's just such a different feeling from the rest of the trip and from my last night on Maple. It just seems like the last night on Maple and then the traveling today has a sense of finality to the trip. Sometimes you just have a feeling like this trip has been its trip. It's been amazing and this is the end, even though it's a gorgeous day and even though it's a weekend and I could stay the extra night if I wanted to. I don't know, there's something just telling me to keep going and go back to my car and pack it in. I have a tailwind as well on Kiosk, which that never is a bad thing. That's the plan right now. I'm just leisurely paddling with the wind at my back on Kiosk Lake.